two people can invest the exact same amount of money, earn the exact same returns, retire on the exact same day, and still end up with dramatically different amounts of spendable income. The reason comes down to one decision: traditional IRA or Roth IRA.
And here's the frustrating part. Most people think this is just a boring tax question. In reality, it could be one of the most important retirement decisions you'll ever make.
Today, we're breaking down traditional versus Roth IRA in plain English, without the confusing jargon, accountant vocabulary, or the feeling that you're accidentally studying for a tax law exam. By the end of this video, you'll understand how each account works, who tends to benefit most from each one, and how to avoid a mistake that could cost you thousands over time. Let's start with the big picture. Traditional and Roth IRAs have a lot in common. They're both retirement accounts, they both offer tax advantages, and they both allow investments to grow without yearly taxes slowing things down.
But the key difference is so important that if you understand this one concept, most of the rest of the comparison becomes incredibly easy.
The difference is not how much you contribute. It's not what investments you buy. It's not whether your account contains stocks, ETFs, or mutual funds. The real difference is when you pay taxes. That's it. One account rewards you now, the other rewards you later. Think of it like choosing between a discount today or a free reward later. Both can be valuable. The trick is figuring out which one works better for your situation. Let's talk about traditional IRAs first. A traditional IRA is basically the account that says, go ahead, keep a little more of your money today. When you contribute to a traditional IRA, you may qualify for a tax deduction, depending on your income and whether you participate in a workplace retirement plan. That deduction can lower your taxable income for the year. In other words, the government may temporarily ignore a portion of your income when calculating taxes. That's why many investors love traditional IRAs. Saving money on taxes right now feels pretty good. Future you can worry about future taxes, right? Well, not so fast. The IRS is not handing out permanent gifts. It's more like a tax delay than a tax elimination strategy. Eventually, when you withdraw money from a traditional IRA during retirement, those withdrawals are generally taxed as ordinary income. So the traditional IRA equation is pretty simple. Tax break now, taxes later. Now let's switch to the Roth IRA, which takes the exact opposite approach. A Roth IRA says, pay your taxes up front, and if you follow the rules, we'll make retirement much more interesting. Contributions to a Roth IRA are made with money that's already been taxed. That means you generally don't get a deduction today. And that's the moment where some people immediately lose interest. No deduction? No instant reward? What kind of deal is that? But here's where things get interesting. If you meet the requirements for qualified withdrawals, your money can come out completely tax-free in retirement. Not just your original contributions, potentially the investment gains too. That's where the real magic happens. Imagine planting a tiny seed that grows into a giant tree. The Roth IRA says, when you harvest the fruit later, you may not owe taxes on the harvest. That's a simplified example, but it captures why Roth IRAs are so popular among long-term investors. So which account is better? That's where things get more interesting, because the answer depends heavily on taxes. Specifically, it depends on the tax rate you pay today compared to the tax rate you expect in retirement. If you believe your tax rate will be lower in retirement, the traditional IRA often starts looking attractive. Why pay taxes at a high rate now if you might be able to pay them at a lower rate later? On the other hand, if you expect your tax rate to be similar or higher in retirement, the Roth IRA often gains an advantage. In that situation, paying taxes today could save you from paying even more taxes decades from now. The challenge, of course, is that nobody owns a crystal ball. Predicting future tax rates is hard enough. Predicting your future income is even harder. That's why many investors don't treat this as an all-or-nothing decision. Instead, they build tax diversification by contributing to different account types over time. Tax diversification can create flexibility later when deciding where retirement income should come from. Let's talk about another important difference: required minimum distributions, commonly known as RMDs. Traditional IRAs generally require you to start taking withdrawals once you reach a certain age. The reason is simple. The government eventually wants to collect taxes on money that received tax-deferred treatment.
Roth IRAs are different. The original account owner generally doesn't face required minimum distributions during their lifetime.
For some investors, that flexibility is a huge advantage. Maybe you don't need the money yet. Maybe you want to leave assets to heirs. Maybe you just like having options. Another factor involves contribution eligibility and income limits. Roth IRAs have income restrictions that can reduce or eliminate direct contributions at higher income levels. Traditional IRAs have their own set of deduction rules that can also change depending on income and workplace retirement plans. That's why it's important to check current IRS rules rather than relying on something you read 3 years ago on a random internet forum. Now let's look at age and career stage, because they can significantly influence the decision. Younger investors often have a compelling case for Roth contributions. One reason is time. Decades of compounding growth can create enormous value inside a tax-advantaged account. Another reason is that younger workers may currently be in lower tax brackets than they expect later in life. Meanwhile, someone earning a very high income today may place greater value on a current tax deduction. So rather than searching for a universal winner, focus on finding the account that matches your financial reality. The truth is that both traditional and Roth IRAs are powerful tools. The biggest mistake is often delaying investing while trying to find the perfect answer. A good account funded consistently is usually far more valuable than a perfect account that never gets used. Whether you choose traditional, Roth, or a combination of both, consistency and long-term investing often matter more than minor optimization. So here's the takeaway. Traditional IRAs potentially save you taxes today. Roth IRAs potentially save you taxes in retirement. Understand your current tax situation. Think carefully about your future expectations. Follow the latest contribution rules and choose the strategy that supports your long-term goals. Your future retired self will probably be very glad you did.